You ever have one of those days or maybe weeks where you feel like you're just going through the motions? Like you're kind of stuck somewhere you didn't exactly choose? Well, today we're going to unpack a really powerful idea drawn from a sermon by Pastor 𝗱𝗲 that can totally reframe how we look at our purpose. It's called Living on Assignment, and it's all about the idea that our real mission might be hiding in plain sight. So let's get into it.
So our story starts, believe it or not, at a drive-through coffee stand. You might have even seen this photo from a Dutch Bros that went totally viral. It captured this simple, incredible moment. And this quote on the screen, it's from one of the baristas, and it's what makes this whole thing so amazing. For them, what they did was just a normal part of the job.
And that right there, that's the whole idea we're talking about today. What happened in that drive-thru is a perfect modern-day picture of what you might call an unexpected assignment. One of those moments where your normal, everyday routine suddenly becomes the stage for something truly extraordinary.
So here's what went down. A woman pulls up to the window, and they can see she's just completely heartbroken, in tears. They find out her husband had passed away just the day before. And without even thinking about it, they stopped everything. The line of cars, the coffee orders, all of it. They gave her a free drink, reached right out of their window, held her hands, and just prayed with her. A simple, beautiful act of kindness on what they thought was just another Tuesday.
This gets us right to the heart of it. Yeah, those baristas were on the clock, but according to this concept, they were also on assignment for something much bigger. So let's break down what that really means.
Okay, so let's start simple. The word assignment. We all know what that is, right? It's a task, a duty. It could be homework from a teacher or your job responsibilities. It's basically a position you've been given.
But here's where it gets a little deeper. The idea of living on assignment adds this divine element to it. It's this belief that God has actually prepared specific good works for each of us to do, and a lot of the time they're kind of disguised in our normal, everyday situations.
And the whole foundation for this idea, it comes from scriptures like this one from Ephesians. The key part is that phrase right at the end, which God prepared in advance for us to do. That suggests that our purpose isn't something we have to go out and create from scratch, but it's something we're meant to find, right where we already are.
Now, to really see this idea come to life, Pastor 𝗱𝗲 takes us to this classic story from the Bible, in Acts 16. It's about two guys, Paul and Silas, who are on a mission that suddenly took a turn for the absolute worst. I mean, from the outside, it looked like a total failure.
So check out how this all went down. Their journey starts with this incredible vision, this clear call to go to a new place called Macedonia. And while they're there, they do something amazing. They free this young slave girl from some serious spiritual oppression. But instead of being heroes, they get arrested. Why? Because freeing her meant her owners lost their business. Their mission to bring freedom ends with them in chains.
And we're not talking about a slap on the wrist. This was brutal. They were publicly humiliated, beaten so badly they called it severely flogged, and then tossed into the most secure part of the prison, with their feet locked up in stocks. I mean, by any standard, this was a catastrophe. Their mission didn't just seem interrupted, it seemed over.
Okay, but This is where everything changes. Their situation was about as bad as it could get, but their response, it was completely unexpected. This is the moment where their biggest failure starts to look like their real purpose.
This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The contrast is just, wow. On one side, you have their reality, beaten, chained, stuck in a dark prison. And on the other side, their response. They're praying and singing hymns to God, loud enough for all the other prisoners to hear them.
And the story gives us a specific time. It says that right at the darkest point of the night, about midnight, right in the middle of this act of defiant worship, something happened.
The Bible uses this one incredible word to describe what happened next. Suddenly, a violent earthquake hits. I mean, it literally shook the prison to its foundations. Instantly, every single prison door flies open. And get this, every prisoner's chains just fell off. It was a miracle of freedom, and it seemed to happen in direct response to their worship.
You'd think, okay, that's the happy ending, right? They're free. But their freedom wasn't actually the point. The story is about to show us what their real assignment was all along. It wasn't about getting out of prison, it was about why they were put in it.
So the jailer wakes up, sees all the doors wide open, and he just panics. See, under Roman law, if your prisoners escaped, you paid with your life. So to avoid the public execution and disgrace, he's about to kill himself.
But Paul shouts out from the darkness, "Hey, don't hurt yourself. We're all still here." And the jailer, completely terrified and amazed,
rushes in, falls down in front of them, and asks the one question this whole insane ordeal was leading up to. The true assignment was for this one desperate man.
And the outcome is just beautiful. Paul and Silas share their message, and right there, the jailer and his entire family become believers. Their real mission wasn't to preach to a big crowd in the city, but to one man and his family, in the darkest hour in a prison cell.
So, what can we pull from all this? Well, the source material lays out these 6 key principles for what it looks like to live on assignment. And you can see how each one lines up perfectly with the story. It all starts with prayer and involves facing spiritual battles and even persecution. But right in the middle of it, you're called to pray and sing. You learn to expect a miracle, a suddenly moment. And the whole point, the ultimate goal, is to bring hope and salvation to the people around you.
So here's the big idea for you and me. This whole concept challenges us to look at our lives a little differently. What if that tough situation at work, that difficult family dynamic, that place you feel stuck, what if it's not actually an obstacle to your purpose? What if it's the path to it?
I love how Pastor Durstein puts it. It's so powerful. He says, the very thing that feels like your prison, the thing that's holding you back and limiting you, that might just be the very platform God wants to use for your greatest impact.
And that's what we're left with, really. From a coffee shop drive-thru to an ancient prison cell, the message is the same. Purpose can show up anywhere, anytime, usually when we least expect it. So the question to think about is this: what if the biggest challenge you're facing right now is actually your greatest assignment in disguise?